Hi, it's Liddell Quinn here for Shimmerz Paints, and I'm just going to show you today how I've made my own stencils. And all I've done is used some overhead transparency. I've got a really nice thick one here, and I'm just tracing some letters from an alpha set that I really liked. And you can see in the corners there I have marked where a 3x4 card will fit underneath there, so that I know where my design needs to sit. And I've also just drawn onto this sheet with a overhead transparency pen, just a permanent marker that I could draw on with and see the lines quite clearly. So I'm just using a scalpel blade here to cut out my letters, and if you just pull the blade towards you, then it cuts quite smoothly. And I'm not really worried about the imperfections here, with the lines not being totally smooth. It sort of makes it look handmade. So here's a quick flick through of some of the cards that I've cut out already, and they vary between some borders and some shapes. Some have got some words on them, some are journaling cards, and they will work really well, I think. So you can see I've done some designs just on some copy paper here. I've just done some scribbles, and I will use these to get some more ideas for more stencils to draw and cut out. And I have just drawn these onto either a 3x4 to scale piece of paper like this, and then I put the transparency over and I trace it with the overhead projector pen, and that way I can cut out my design without too much trouble at all. So here's my sheets that are ready to go, and I've done quite a few, as you could see. This is just a sample of drawing it onto a piece of paper in the texter, and then I can just go over the top and trace over the top. So here's the little pieces that I've cut out. Just set them aside and keep them if they're big enough and you've managed to cut them out without breaking any of the letters. And you can put these on your 3x4 or your 6x4 cards even, and spray over the top of those, and or sponge over the top of them. It just for a different look, and they're worth keeping. Now I thought I would just use some watercolor paper for this project, just because I'm spraying such wet inks and sprays onto my substrate. So I'm just cutting up some watercolor paper here into 3x4 pieces, and I'm going to use those, and I've cut up quite a few of them, so I've got a stash here, and I just round the corners so that they're all ready to go. I'm always using the 1/4 inch side of my crocodile corner muncher thingy, and here I'm just whizzing through my pack of cards and getting them all ready to go. So I just lay on my transparency piece, and I'm using just the sprays to spray over the top. And I've worked out that some don't work as well as others, and you've sort of got to be careful about how much you put on, and keep in mind that you can press on the reverse image as well, like I've just done here, and you end up with a different card and waste less spray. So that was pop-up pink that I'm using there, a Vibes colour, and you will be able to see here through the various colours that I'm using that some work really, really well, and you'll get to know which ones do and don't. That one was a fun one that I can go over and do some journaling. This one here is the one that didn't work great. Little bit too much pulled onto it, like just the spray sprayed out a lot, so I just wiped it off and tried again, and I think each individual paint is sprays differently. So this that My Bleeding Heart one sprayed really nicely, just a fine enough mist that it didn't puddle underneath the stencil. So you'll get to learn which ones work and which ones don't. That one is my favourite. I love that stencil. It turned out great, and there are so many ways that you can embellish that. And here I am doing the reverse of it. So I'm making 2 cards at once there, and as you can see, everything cleans up really, really easy with a baby wipe as well. So now I'm just testing out the stencils with the different sprays, different colours, and I'm making a stash of cards that I can use in my project life or scrapbooking, and I'm having a great time, as you can see. So this one is starting to layer stencil, so I've done one colour in the middle, and I've used the stencil to mask off areas that I don't want any spray to go onto. And now I'm going to lay over a different stencil to get the border in a different colour. So that's nice and easy to do, and the options are endless with this. So there's another one just with the negative image, and this one's 2 stencils together where I can just get a white border around the edge with the white star in the centre, and you can add a photo to there or journal inside, and that's the reverse of the stencil stamped onto the card. And this is another option, using a cosmetic sponge to sponge mist that's just been sprayed onto the craft sheet. And you can do the same with the thicker paints that are in the tubs, and get an even better outline there because it's a bit thicker. And this is fun too, to dab your cosmetic sponge in and use it like a distress ink around the edge of your cards, and you can do some colouring in that way as well, just a soft way to apply the colour. Here you can see my finished cards that I created using just these few stencils that I have made so far, and they'll look really good, embellished and added to my project life, and I will include some photos of what it turned out like with my blog post that will go with this video. So I hope you are inspired to go and give it a try and see what you can come up with as well. And until next time, thank you for watching today, and I'll see you again. Bye.